Okay, so here are the rails, and here is our show.
Completely off. Completely gone today. What in the world? Derailed. Yay, you're here. Welcome to the CK and GK podcast. Let's get going.
Hello, hello!
Yay, you're here. We're so glad.
Yay!
All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're making this a mini-sode, so hopefully this won't take up too much of anyone's time. That would be ideal, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Not that we would ever take up your time. We
No.
fill up your time.
Right. We are a joy, and we are a pleasure that you look forward to in your commute or laundry folding. I don't know.
And it says nothing about us that we have to remind you of that.
Right. Oh gosh. All right, let's get started.
Speaking of who we are, we're two moms who are also teachers.
We pretend to adult on a regular basis.
We know lots of things.
But there's more we don't know.
Our approach to teaching is all about fun and practicality. Have you memorized this bit yet?
Are you tired of it?
True. Are you tired of it? You're like, skip. 15 plus,
right, 15.
Okay.
All right.
So last week, I feel like I hit the ball out of the park.
You did.
By saying that Caitlin was the Snoop to my Martha.
Yeah.
So today, she is the Punk to my Daft.
Oh, that's a good one. I think that's
and Daft means silly.
I know. Oh, I love
it's
that.
so good. It's not as good, but I'm not trying to hit that bar anymore.
No, no, it's good to manage expectations. We're good. Well, I learned a couple weeks ago that she dances with little kicks. It's Elaine Bennis with us, guys.
Oh my gosh, with the thumbs? Did she do the thumbs?
Did you do the thumbs? I don't know. I don't think either one of us did the thumbs, but I felt like somebody was doing little kicks. I know I saw them somewhere. So maybe it was you. Who knows? I am Caitlin, and that is Jenny. And we've got some shout outs to do. Well, it's really one. It's one shout out. So I woke up this morning and did my usual Twitter scroll on a Sunday morning. And as I was doing that, I saw someone who was like, hey, we hit this many listens. And I was like, oh, I should go check on our listens because I haven't looked in a little while. And we hit 900 listens / downloads last night at some point.
So we're making 900 shout outs.
That's amazing. So if you've listened to any of our episodes, that counts as a listen, as a download. Also, fun fact, it doesn't have to be for the whole episode for it to count. Oh. So even if you've listened for half of an episode, you're giving us credit. We appreciate you. Honestly, some days this is very tiring for both Jenny and myself. And so it's really, really awesome to see that many listens and see that people are listening and appreciating us. And so we thank all of you who are doing that for us. We love you.
And shout out to my student who is named after an herb. Thanks so much for giving us a listen.
Yeah, that was awesome. And that student also earned a retweet from me. So well done. Congratulations. And thank you for supporting your teacher. It's amazing.
Awesome.
So let's start with sports. I know that you have something, probably just a little something.
Well, my something has to do with your something. So you start.
Okay.
Because mine is a comment that we add.
Okay. We have to talk about the Super Bowl halftime show. Yeah, okay, good job, Rams, you win, congratulations, blah blah, we're moving on. I was going to tweet the halftime show in real time. That was my initial plan. And then
it was so good, you can't pick up your phone.
Right. And then I thought I should be streaming or somehow TikToking my reaction to this. And then I was like, it's too much pressure. I can't do it. And it would have been really embarrassing for me. But I did start jotting notes to myself, as I was doing this. And then I started to realize that was too much. But I remembered that I was basically firing off texts to our friend Ariella and my other two mom friends, Brenna and Joey, and I was just like, this is amazing. So I just kept going through, and I have I have a list of all the things that I said to them, and I have a list of the things that I was writing down at the same time. Like, what kind of nerd is like dancing but also writing this stuff down at the same time? I don't know, but I have the whole thing, and I thought it was hysterical, and I felt like I had to read it to you.
Yes. Go.
And just so you know, for the record, next time there's a major sporting event, we promise that we will give you water cooler phrases. We will either tweet them out or we'll throw them into our next show or whatever it is, but we will give those to you. But right now, the thing that I care the most about, honestly, was the halftime show. So here's here's me with all the notes that I was taking mentally, physically, and on my text. Ready? Okay.
I kind of think this is better than doing it live. This is funny. It makes me think of Wayne's World when they would be like, do reenactment, reenactment.
So, my first line, ready? Snoop! Oh my God, it's Snoop! And then I went, Dre! And then I went, oh my God, Snoop is killing it and looking fly. I love him, clearly having fun. Right. And then I saw like people tweeting like he's out here looking like Aladdin's rug, and I died laughing over that, but I thought he actually looked really good. Okay. Then they started playing California Love, and I lost my mind, especially when he updated the lyrics for, instead of now it's 95, he went now it's 22, and I lost my mind over that. It was amazing. Been in the game for, instead of 10 years, it was 30 years. I was like, oh my God, yes you have. And then 50 comes out hanging upside down. Like, why is this fool over here looking like Rob Lowe in Parks and Recreation doing his ab crunches? Like, why is he hanging upside down? Okay, Spider-Man, also, what are you doing?
50 cent upside down is just 2 cents.
I love it. I love it. You have to flip the numbers over for that joke, folks. Okay, and then Mary J comes out and her boots. And her boots, and her boots, and her boots, and her boots. She's just so amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so then Mary J falls down, and I was like, oh, I just felt that in my soul. That was amazing. When she just like collapses at the end of her song, I was like, yes, yeah. I'd be that tired too. Amazing. And then Kendrick Lamar comes out, and I was like, this is where, you know, like, he's amazing, and I love Kendrick Lamar, and I have heard that song, but I didn't know it like enough to be following along the way that I was jamming out to literally every other song the entire time. And then I was just like, he's one of the few who can hang. Like, he can hang with this group, and I'm not going to be mad about it. This is all right. And then there was a period where he was like backing up through the crowd of his dancers, and the dancers are mouthing the words, and I was like, yes, get it, that's amazing, this guy gets it, he's so into it. I was super excited about that. And then Eminem comes out, and I went, oh snap, I know every word again. Here we go. So, I know them all.
So I asked Abigail, she was at her dad's, and I said, did you watch the Super Bowl? She goes, yeah. I said, did you watch the halftime show? Oh, yeah. And I knew the Eminem song because of our family karaoke nights.
Yes. Best family karaoke nights ever. Amazing. So then of course, I'm like saying every word. And then I look up at the screen again, and everyone else is just jamming to his stuff. Like, look over, and Snoop is bopping, and so is Mary J. And I was just like, yes, they all get it. And then he kneeled, and there's been a lot of controversy about that. Maybe not controversy, maybe just like people going, what was he doing? You know, was he kneeling because of like the Black Lives Matter movement? And I was like, yeah, that's what he was doing, right? Like, they told him he couldn't, and he did it anyway. I respected it. And then I heard da 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 da. I got so excited all over again. I lost my mind. And I just was like, oh my God, Dre, forever, always. And then I don't know if anybody, I'm sure people caught this, but I was like, hold on. Is that a little Tupac support here? And I like went and looked it up after, and I was like, yes, he was showing love to Tupac, because he started just playing a few bars of one of his songs, and I thought it was really cool.
John was hoping that there was going to be a Tupac hologram.
Everyone was saying that. And somebody tweeted out like, all right, now we know for sure he's dead, right? Because he would have come out for that. If he had been alive, like 100%, he would have come out.
One of my students went to the game.
Oh.
And we were asking, like, what celebrities did you see? And he was like, oh, I saw Tupac. And we're like, no, you didn't, because he's dead.
No. No. That happened happened a lot. No. You didn't see that. And then my last couple of lines that I was like, I wasn't tweeting, I was texting them or whatever. I was like, oh no, it's ending. Oh no. Like multiple O's. And then at the end, I just went, oh my God, more please. Like, I just wanted to watch it again. It was so good. It was so good. I loved it every minute. Even again, I think Ariella was like, Kendrick Lamar is messing up my flow. And I was like, yeah, I get it. But also I liked it. Like, it didn't seem so out of place that I was like, nah, you can go home. Yeah. Like I appreciated, and he's just really talented anyway. So that's me with my live stream, my stream of consciousness, recapping the Super Bowl halftime show.
So Danny, one of our listeners,
yeah,
told me that she enjoyed the Super Bowl more because she listened to our eppies.
Yay!
And her
that makes me so
mom,
happy.
she was watching it with her mom, and her mom says, yeah, we're sitting there watching the game. And I said, I cannot believe they're going to throw on third down. Danny turns to her mom, you know the downs? She was like,
yes.
yeah, I know the downs. You mean like the general rules of football? Yes.
That's amazing. It's like that teacher moment where like there is a kid who's like, oh, I get it. Right? Like, that's what I just had when you said that to me. That's amazing. I just had the, oh my God, I imparted the wisdom. It feels so great.
So the other thing she told me that also relates to Eminem is she is a preschool teacher.
Nice.
Okay. She has like a 15-month-old in her room that is behind on walking.
Oh.
And she has named this kid Slim Shady because they need to just stand up. Oh. She keeps saying, please stand up. Please stand up.
That's a story I would tell the parent. I'd be like, listen, just so you know, he's Slim Shady in my room. Just yes. Well, shout out to her, because not only is she clever, but also she's a listener who learned things. So that's amazing. That feels like a gem, just sharing that information. But do you have any others?
We went out last weekend and it was not beautiful. It was cold and nasty. And John just looks at me, what's up with the weather today? It's stupid.
It's like, stupid weather.
Most people are not describing weather as whether or not it has intelligence, but yeah, you're right. This weather is pretty dumb. And then put Kit down for his nap, and he is yelling at me through the baby monitor, Mommy, you forgot your child.
I was like, no, you didn't. I put you there on purpose.
I'm trying to forget you. But
just for like an hour, can you please just let me forget you for like an hour? Just let me be distracted by something else. Well, speaking of saying ridiculous things, so my son has like had some of the preschool friends he's had, for a long time. There's a couple that he was in like his 1-year-old class with, and then like again for 2, and then for pre-K and all that stuff. So, and one of them is a little girl who, I'm not going to say her real name, but let's call her Ava. And Ava really likes Sam. They've been troublemakers together since, all the schooling started, right? Yeah. So one day Sam says to me, you know what? Ava wants to marry me, but I don't want to be a dad. If I end up getting married, I'm just going to leave her at the altar. And I went, what? leave her at the altar. First of all, how do you know what an altar is? And he was like, well, because I used to go to chapel, remember? And I was like, yeah, your daycare did have you go to chapel, so you probably know what the altar is. And he just said, yeah, I'm just going to leave her there. Like, I'm going to let her get dressed up and I'm going to leave her there. That's what I'm going to do if someone wants to marry me. I'll just skip the wedding.
I'll just skip the wedding.
Like, all right, that's
okay.
Yeah, so my child coming in hot with the evil. I
Yeah.
was like, that's the meanest thing.
Like, I'm already planning it. So, but that saves you a little money on a rehearsal dinner.
Not if you're gonna leave her there at the altar.
No, you don't have to throw a nice one.
I'm like, how very Panic at the Disco of you. Just like walk out. Oh my gosh. I chime in. Anyway.
So what are you obsessed about?
Right now? The wombats.
Oh my gosh.
Like that's kind of it.
So
like,
should I have
can't
gone
stop
first?
listening. Well, let's hear what you have to say. Let's just hear
Okay.
it.
I'm really trying to grow my hair.
Okay. Like you want length?
I want some length because I already
Okay.
know that thickness is not happening. We have talked about this before. I am a teaser. So I read that a scalp scrub will help. So if you're listening and you have a scalp scrub that you love, go ahead and tell me about that. I also heard that biotin is great. So if you have a biotin supplement that you love, tell me about that. And then I'm also obsessed with Wordle.
You're actually playing Wordle? I thought that you hated Wordle.
I hate internet phenomena. I hate it. I
Okay.
hate getting sucked into something. You know, I got kicked out of jury duty because I was so addicted to Angry Birds. I was playing it in the courtroom.
Oh, you didn't.
I did.
Oh my
I did.
Gosh.
And so I cannot have games on my phone. I cannot get obsessed with things. I don't have the BuzzFeed app because even though Abby and I like to take BuzzFeed quizzes on the train, I cannot have the app because I will go to it all the time. But John explained it to me and we played it one time and I was like, oh, wait.
Are you
I
into
really
it now?
like this. I'm into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I did that thing where you play it right at midnight. And so you have to wait full 24 hours before you can play it again. And it's not going well for me.
So I have like a word, you know, in Wheel of Fortune, how they always give you RSTLNE, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I try and like choose words with those in there first to try and see, like eliminate. And so I have like
Right,
a
right, right.
go-to word that I always test out first. Do you have a word that you always test out first?
I have some that I rotate through. One of them is Saint. S-A-I-N-T.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Also like boats. B-O-A-T-S.
I do Sable, S-A-B-L-E. I don't know why that one works for me, but it does. It helps me get really far. That's my first. I've never had that one be right. But it does give me a lot of tricks. So you heard it from us, guys. We're giving you tricks for how to play Wordle.
So the word the other day was dodge.
Yeah, that one was hard.
Okay,
I did not.
so-
I don't like the double letter ones. I struggle.
had odge.
Oh, no.
And
Did you
so
try Lodge?
I tried Modge. and you know, John and I, because he's already played it and I've already played it, like he'll send me his score and then I will send him a screen cap of my guesses because I know he's already played.
Yeah.
And he just messaged me back, what is Modge? Why did you even guess that?
Tell me you're a crafter without telling me you're a crafter. I would have tried Podge right after. So
Right?
And I like how it tells you when it's not the right word. It's like, no, that's not a word in the
That's
English
not a
language.
word.
You cannot use
We
that.
don't have that word. Yeah.
I had the DGE, but I didn't have the vowel right away. And then when I got the vowel, I was like, oh, darn these double letter ones. They make me
Oh, I
crazy.
went to Lodge next. It took
Yeah,
me
yeah.
3 odges.
Yeah, I get it.
And actually, I had Odge, and then I had Modge, Lodge, Dodge.
I like it.
Yep, there you go. All right, so back to you.
So yeah, I'm obsessed with the wombats right now. They are I listen to podcasts when I go for my walk through the neighborhood, but I listen to music when I'm working. I can't listen to podcasts when I work because
Oh, you'll get sucked in.
yeah, well, and I'm writing
Oh, yeah.
for a living, and so if I write and I have other people's words, like I will either pay attention to the podcast or pay attention to the writing, but I'll miss, you know what I mean? Like something won't be getting done. So yeah, I can only listen to music when I'm working, and so it's been the wombats like for like a week straight. Like I can't stop listening to
They're
it.
so good.
They're so good. It's been really fun to listen to and be like, oh yeah, they played this one at the show, which is what we're going to be talking about for our show today. So our topic is basically, we're old. We are geriatric millennials, as my mom loves to remind me of. And we went out during COVID stuff, and we were out until 11-ish, right? Somewhere in there.
It was way past my bedtime.
Yeah, my bedtime is definitely well before 11.
And I think about that scene from That Thing You Do when they're in the radio station.
Yes.
And he says, there was this one time we stayed up way past midnight.
There was a time where I was able to stay up late and be okay. I mean, I've never been like an out all night kind of girl. I've been old since I was, 14, but I definitely did have days where I could do that, and I just haven't been able to do it lately. But that was us staying out late, and like, not just like, I don't even know that I yawned. I always yawn.
Oh, it was an adrenaline filled evening.
Yeah, it was really fun. So we're going to just sort of tell you how we managed to be functional human beings while we were out that late at a concert full of people who were mostly younger than us. Yeah, I would say mostly, which is weird.
Yes, I would say that we are the in-betweens of the Wombats fans at that show.
Okay.
I think the majority of the people who were there were probably somewhere between 10 and 15 years younger than us.
Yeah.
And then also their parents came with them. I'm not kidding.
No, I know. That's what makes it funny, because this is how we managed to have a night that was like functional, and we did it the way that we needed to do it. Like, because we found the parents. Let's be clear.
Late 30s, early 40s, not there.
No.
Not represented well.
No, the age bracket of like 36 to 45, definitely not represented well. However, 45 to 60, yep, that was pretty well represented. So here's what happened. I'm so incapable of making decisions when it comes to going places. I don't remember what attire is appropriate anymore, because I work from home and it's COVID and who knows what's going on. So I was like, Jenny, what do I wear to this? And she sends me back a picture or an emoji of a disco ball and says, don't worry, whatever you wear, you won't match me. It's like, what does this even mean? And I was like, she's fancier than me. And I'm going to Bryce, my husband, and I'm saying, she's fancy. Like, I'm overwhelmed. What? He's like, you're not fancy. Wear what you want. So that's our first tip. Wear what you want. Because if you're going to be going to a concert, you might as well be comfortable.
Well, and here's the deal. Wear what you want, whether it be for physical comfort or emotional comfort.
Right. Totally.
Right? So, yes, I did send the emoji of the disco ball because I was wearing a pink sequined crop top and leather pants.
It made me so happy. When
I wore what I wore.
Exactly. And then she also had Chucks on too, which like dressed it down. You know what I mean?
I didn't want to go over the top.
No.
Heels would have been too much.
Yeah, it would have been too much. It totally would have been too much. It's for a Wombat show. No.
Right.
Can't do it. But yeah, so that's the first tip. Wear what you want, especially when you're our age. Like, I'm too old to play these games. I did put on makeup though, which was ridiculous because one, it was dark, and two, we wore masks the whole time. But it made me feel good. So there's that too.
Right. And that was my outfit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not there to pick up men. I've already been married twice. I'm done.
Although men did try to pick us up by the end of the night.
Oh my gosh.
Men,
It was too
boys.
funny. Yes, it was too funny. They saw us coming a mile away and thought, here's two middle-aged ladies. We'll take them.
Oh, God. What
and
a
then we
mess.
look at them and say, no. And
Right.
as soon as he takes our picture for us as a favor, they're scanning the room looking for their next
Yeah, we were
people.
done. And all those pictures are so blurry.
Oh, they're terrible. But that's the primary difference between men and women.
Right.
Women will say, look at the picture and make sure you like it.
Yep.
And
he
men
was
are
just
like,
okay,
oh,
bye.
you're welcome.
Anyway, our next tip is leave early. Okay. So I just want to be clear that we were going to leave before 6 o'clock to get to a show where the doors open at 7. The first act doesn't come on till 8 and the wombats didn't come on till 9. So we were ready to go. And then I will say arriving early, leaving when we did was actually kind of genius because we got parking. We were planning to like take, a car, like a ride service, but we didn't because it would have been like $80. And I was like, no.
Yeah. When I told my husband that was the plan, he was like, Jen, that's like an $80 Uber.
And
no,
we would have been going from my house, which is even closer. It would have been a nightmare.
Yeah, he said, no, don't do that.
Don't do that. No.
Just control your consumption and drive home safely.
Right. Don't be an idiot. Right.
Which I would have gone to sleep if I had had too many drinks. Oh
Totally. It worked out really well. When we parked, we got a prime parking spot in front of a mural of Darkwing Duck, which Jenny was so excited about that she went and took pictures of, and I promise they will be up on our Instagram before
What
too
we
long.
didn't get was a picture of me taking the picture. Because
laughing too hard.
I was taking it like an old lady. I'm like bringing the camera closer to the wall.
She's bending down.
I'm like trying to get the right angle.
There's a couple of like Gen Z kids like next to us kind of looking at Jenny's cracking up. I'm dying laughing. And these two girls like, what is she doing? And I was like, don't worry, we're just old and taking pictures in front of Darkwing Duck. Do you know who that duck is? And they're like, no. And I was like, well, then this does whatever.
Then this is really sad.
Right.
This is just an old lady in her sequin crop top taking a picture of a mural.
Perfect. It was amazing.
Meanwhile, they're like, oh my gosh, I think that's my teacher from middle school.
Which actually did kind of happen later on. So then we go in. We were only like out there for, I don't know, it was probably like half an hour.
Oh yeah, it was super short.
Wasn't
and
bad.
They're checking everyone's vaccine cards and giving the wristbands. I mean, it was very well orchestrated. And John gave me these tickets for Christmas only because we knew that it was going to be vaccine required.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it was not going to be something that we were comfortable doing.
Right.
And he gave me a stuffed wombat and said, you're getting a wombat because you're going to go see the wombats. And I'm so excited.
Yay!
Well, for the same Christmas, I gave Kit a stuffed hedgehog and he says, I'm going to go see the hedgehogs.
Absolutely adorable. Oh my gosh, I love that kid so much. Oh, so precious. So everything's super well organized. Again, parking, get in line. We're not super far behind in the line. We had no issues getting through, like getting our vaccine cards checked and all that stuff. And we get in and there's no line for adult beverages. Perfect. And the line for merch is like, I don't know, 10 people deep. Like it was not a bad line at all. And
it was a fun line.
It was cute. There's right behind us a cute little set of friends who were talking to us and they're like, wait, what do you guys do? And Jenny's like, oh, I'm a middle school teacher. And she's like, oh my God, you guys probably had us at some point. We were like, no, we would remember, but it would not be shocking if we did happen to see one of our students in the crowd tonight. Like we were fully anticipating that would happen.
One of the kids works retail and he was like, our jobs are kind of the same, right? Like just keep people in line and try and make them happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And get them to buy something that they don't want.
Right. He works at a grocery store and I was like, yeah, you're probably dealing with some, ridiculous requests. And he's like, all the time. And I was like, yep, see, that's teaching. You're well prepared. And he's like, nope, I don't want to do that. And the girl was super sweet. They were super friendly people. And then while Jenny's getting merch, I go get us adult beverages. Again, no line. Amazing. And then
And since we got there at, 6:45 or whatever, we can have 2 drinks because we're not going home till 11.
Right. Exactly. It's perfect. So then Jenny looks at me as we have our beverages. She's got her merch. We're kind of like settling in. And she goes, so are you a pit person? Are we going to go stand up front and just be right in front of the stage? And I was like, No, like, no, I'm not a pit person. And one thing you should know about me is that I'm short, right? Like there have been people who have tried to get me to go like get a handicap sticker for my car because I am that short and I could qualify for services. For the record, I'm not that short. You have to be below like 4'10" in order to get that.
I like that you know.
Yeah. I had to have a comeback. I had to have a reason why I couldn't go get it. So
I'm 3/4 of an inch too tall. So
also it would have been totally taking advantage of the system, which I don't agree with.
Absolutely. Right. But you have to remember who I'm married to.
Yes, I do remember. And that would have been a request.
Because the person to whom I am married has a full color half sleeve Metallica tattoo.
Yes.
And while he works in finance and has an MBA, he also is a pit person.
So I was like, Jenny, I get trampled. I get stepped on. I can't be in the...
I have steel-toed groped boots. Let's just say that.
Right. I get it. Yeah, no, I get that. But you were not wearing them. You were wearing your Chucks, and I was wearing my like Adidas that I love so much that I cannot think of their name right now. But anyway, we were like, no. And we go off to the side, and there's like a set of 3 kind of high stairs. Like they're like bleacher-esque stairs. Yeah. And I was like,
if you were going to do a choir concert, you would use these on the stage.
Yeah. They feel more like gym bleachers.
Yes.
That's what they felt like to me. They weren't like, they didn't come out. They were clearly solid, but like that's sort of the height that we're talking here. And there were only 3 rows and they weren't like full yet. And I was like, you want to go sit down?
You bet I do.
Yeah, exactly. So we went and sat and we had a nice conversation. It wasn't too loud yet. It was pretty empty in there. So we could like comfortably take our masks off, have a beverage, put our mask back on when we were done with our beverage. And we didn't feel unsafe in that situation. So that's, I mean, getting there early.
Shout out to Emos. Like they did a great job.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was really well put together and they did an awesome job. So I would say on top of wearing what you want, getting there early is kind of clutch. Like that was a big game changer for how much we enjoyed the show, because when we were enjoying the show, ultimately it obviously filled up, but like we never had a bad view. We just stood up on our bench and then we also like moved up a row while we were sitting there, and we were able to sit for as much of the show as we wanted to, but never had a bad view of what was happening. We weren't far away, like we got to see everything. It was great.
Yeah, it was super great. And I am not normally a get there early kind of person. I am normally the person who's texting I'm on my way when I'm on my way to the car. Remember,
but there's always a good reason.
Right. I was just going to call back to that. So it was pretty nice to get there and say, okay, we're going to camp out and get our spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, as the night went on, obviously like more and more people wanted the stairs, right? Now behind us were a bunch of parents of like the 14 and 15-year-olds who didn't have their own car yet and were not trusted to go out at night on their own yet. And then there were also some people who were like probably a little bit younger than us, but mostly the parents were sitting over there. But as the night went on, the area got more and more popular with people wanting to sit down. And at one point we were like, do we need to call a doctor for this girl who just came and sat down with us? Because she was pretty far gone and we were like a little concerned for her health and safety. And we just sort of kept an eye on her, and she ended up being fine. But it was like,
once they played her favorite song, she was up on her
right.
feet
She was
Like,
gone. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, she's all right.
Fine.
She just needed some cuddles or something, I guess. I don't know. But where we were sitting was super popular, and so we were able to like, dance wide and hold our spot for as much as we needed to. It was great. And then we ended up staying through the whole show. Like we didn't. I'm also a person who will leave early and I'll Irish goodbye. I don't care. I will peace out without saying goodbye. I'm like, oh, nice to see you. And then I just leave. But we stayed for the whole show. They told us at the end, it was so great. At the end of the show, they told us, hey, we know how this works and so do you. We will come back out for an encore. We just need 5 minutes.
He was like, I'm supposed to tell you this is the last song of the evening, but you've been to a gig before.
Right. And he goes, we'll be back 5 minutes after the song is over. And I don't even think they took a full 5. I think it was like 3.5, but they did come out when they said they were going to, and it was perfect. Like it was amazing. So we were like,
they did 3 more.
Yeah, it was great. And they did 3 more like popular ones too. Like super, super good. So, you know, that's how cool we are that we didn't miss any of the encore. But we also at the end, like this was something that I hadn't thought to do, but it was smart on Jenny's part. We stood like we as the whole crowd is filtering out, we moved towards the front, towards the stage to get some pictures of just us in front of the stage with the Wombats like logo in the background. And I almost get photobombed by the dudes who are looking for people to pick up. And he's like, oh, I was going to photobomb you guys. And I'm like, nah, yeah, okay, great. And he goes, I'll take your picture. You want me to do that? I'll do that. And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. And then he goes, oh, is this girls' night out? And I was like, more like mom's night out. And he goes, oh.
All right.
Oh, okay, got it. And then he like takes a few pictures. All of them are blurry. There is not one clear picture in the bunch. And I think he took like 6, which also, by the way, is probably not enough. Okay, just putting that out there. But he like hands us back the phone. Like as he's handing it back to me, you could tell he's clearly lost interest. He's like, okay, bye. And
he goes back over to his buddy, and the two of them are scanning the room.
Like scanning. Yeah.
Yeah. It was
totally
too great.
Scanning.
I'm like, dude, I got a car seat in the back of my Subaru. I am not what you're looking for tonight. I got excited about parking by Darkwing Duck.
Right. And took a picture. Oh my gosh. We were like, probably, I will say my guess is that we were probably the oldest ones there who were there to see them and not there
to
be with our
else.
kids.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's probably what happened.
But that just makes us cool.
It does make us cool. So then what I didn't tell you about our drive down there is that Jenny's gas light came on as we were driving, and she's like, it's fine. It's fine. I got like 70 miles left. And I'm like inside my head panicking because I fill up my gas tank whenever it's a quarter.
Oh, well,
left.
let me tell you, I know for sure I have 70 miles left because there was a recall on Subarus of this year.
Oh, okay.
Because the gas light was not coming on early enough.
Oh.
So we had it, and John ran out of gas.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And so when we got the recall work done, like it now lies to you. And it's like, you have 70 miles left, but really we have like 170 because Subaru does not want to get sued anymore.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'd rather have it come on too early than too late.
Oh, it comes on when there's like half a tank left. It's like, better watch out. You're going to run out of gas one day.
I'm like panicking. And then we were like, we probably shouldn't get gas down here. So we drove up towards my neighborhood and like a reliable gas station that I've been to very, very, very early in the morning.
We got off the interstate, okay?
Yeah.
And if anybody's driven through Austin and never stayed in Austin, the only part of Austin you've seen is I-35, and that's why you say, ew, Austin is dirty. Yeah. We didn't buy gas there.
No, we didn't. We did not buy gas there. And then we did decide we were going to be super cool and make TikToks in the car on the way home. If you haven't checked out our TikTok page, we do have a TikTok, and you can find videos that Ariella is helping us make and / making them all by herself, and one video that Jenny and I did put together, which was fun. And then this is how old I am, right? We get home, it's like 11 o'clock. Like we're both definitely tired at this point because like she's Friday afternoon teacher tired, Friday night teacher tired, which if you know what that is, there are a few teachers who don't, but that's like a level of exhaustion that is hard to fathom. But then I get home and the first thing I do, my front door opens up right in front of my laundry room. And the first thing I did was go into the laundry room and take the wet clothes out of the washing machine and put them in the dryer.
And welcome back.
It's like,
you thought you had a night out on the town.
Exactly.
Just kidding.
Here's your
Cinderella,
reality.
it's midnight. That carriage is a pumpkin, and the laundry needs to be changed.
So I totally did that. And then I was like, I bet the dishwasher didn't get started. And then I went and I started the dishwasher. And that was mostly because I knew Bryce and I were going to want our coffee cups in the morning, right? But like our travel mugs, but also who does that? Like who gets home from a rockin' night at a great show and then's like, you know what? I'm going to go put the laundry in the dryer. But
some people are like, oh, I'm going to heat up a pizza or eat ice cream right out of the container.
I need a Hot Pocket. Right.
Yeah.
Where are my Totino's pizza rolls?
Run the dishwasher.
I didn't even and I washed my makeup off. I didn't do my full, 10, 15 minute skincare routine, but I did take take of my face and I brushed my teeth, made sure the dishwasher was going, and then climbed into bed. And the next morning, I was so happy with myself. Morning Caitlin was so glad that nighttime Caitlin thought about her. Nighttime Caitlin doesn't often think about morning Caitlin, but this time she did. And I don't know if it was the second beverage that helped me. Yeah.
But let's be real. That second beverage was at 8:30 and we didn't leave the show until after 11.
Yeah, no, I was sober. I was stone cold sober by that time. This was just me going, I will be so mad at myself in the morning if these clothes are still wet.
But can we talk about how great the warm-up band was?
Oh, they were so good. So this band, well, first of all, they have a special place in my heart because they had just played in Houston, and the lead singer of this band, whose name I cannot remember right now, and if Jenny knows it, she'll tell you, but I don't remember. No. Anyway, he was telling us that he has had bone cancer for the past several years. Bone cancer, which, my mom had a friend who had bone cancer. It sounds really painful and horrible, and bless this guy's heart. He goes, hey, so I got some good news yesterday. My scans are clean and I'm in remission. And he said that to us during the show, and the whole crowd exploded. It was amazing. It went nuts.
It was so cool.
Oh yeah, we were all so happy for this guy, and they're a good band. They are legitimately fun to listen to. They vibed with kind of what the Wombats sound is, and so that was really cool too. But they are called Clubhouse, and we're gonna have a link to their Twitter page in the show notes so you guys can check them out. But they were really fun to listen to. For sure.
On Spotify. We already found them that evening. We were like, they're so good.
Yeah, I already added them. I was like, I'm just going to go find them right now. I think I was sending them to my sister too. Maybe. I can't remember. But they were really, really good. I think if I have to sum up, how are you going to do a concert in your late 30s, early 40s? It would be wear what you want, get there early enough that you can
scope out the space.
Right. Scope out the space, get a place where you want to be, get a place to park and not feel anxious about it. Maybe get gas on the way there. Who knows?
Not important. Not if you have a Subaru from 2018 or higher.
Get the merch that you want without dealing with the giant line. Get the beverages you want without dealing with the giant line. And find a place to hang out and enjoy the show. And then go home at a reasonable hour so that you're not feeling awful. And then do things that will make your morning self not hate you, right?
Run the dishwasher.
Run the dishwasher. Or if that means wash your face. Whatever that is, try and put some sort of normalcy back into your routine so that you don't hate yourself the next morning. Because I really, I wasn't hungover. I wasn't unhappy. I have nothing but positive experiences from that whole evening.
No, I went home and I showered.
Me too.
And oh my gosh, that was great. And because I did not want to wake up my husband, I slept in a different bedroom. And that was also kind of nice. I was like, oh, I'm just going to starfish all night. Okay.
Starfish. That's amazing. No, that is why I washed my face, because I was in the shower. Okay. And when I was wearing that lipstick, it was a matte color stay. That did not come off. I had to scrub that so hard. Yeah. It was not all over the inside of my mask, which was shocking. But yeah, it did not come off. So I would have had to shower to get it off.
Tag them in the epi too, eh? Whatever this magic lipstick is.
Shout out to Revlon.
I'm just saying.
It's
if
good
we're
lipstick.
gonna hit 1,000, we gotta tag people.
Help us at 1,000 Revlon. Super Stay, matte, whatever. I'll tell you the color if you're really interested. Let us know. DM me and I'll tell you.
Color doesn't matter. It's such a quality product. Every color will look great on every skin tone.
That's true. If you like red lips, go for it. All right. I don't know. Do we have anything else? That's how to. That's how to go to a concert and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, we had a great time. We really did. Yeah. And so thanks to my husband for giving me the tickets.
Yes,
and
thank you,
accepting
Johnny.
that I didn't take him as my plus one.
To be fair, he did say I was never intending for you to take me as your plus one, right? Like, if I remember that correctly.
Yes. And then when I told him that, he was like, I never said that.
Oh, boo.
I was
yes,
like, I
you
really
do.
thought you said that. And he was like, no. He's like, I'm not a huge Wombats fan. I'm not against them. But I did think I was going with you. And I was like, oh, you weren't.
Well, you're not. And you didn't.
No, it's totally fine.
So, whatevs.
Oh,
yeah.
Please. This is my advice to you, listeners. You don't have to take your husband as your date all the time.
No, you don't. It was really fun to.
It was fun.
Like, go out and just. I don't think you and I have done anything like that in a very, very long time, if ever. Honestly, so it was a nice mom's night out.
It was mom's night out faux show.
Right.
How do we know it was mom's night out? We both wore sneakers.
They were perfect. It was great. A big old sweater and sneakers. That's what I wore. And Jenny wore a disco ball.
I did.
And it was amazing. She looked fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
The security guard
liked it.
agrees. She told me, I don't normally like sequins, but I like your shirt.
Yeah, she did say that. You're like, thank you.
Thanks.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Amazing. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. It's supposed to be a mini-sode. I think it actually kind of is a mini-sode for us.
Oh, and there's a new Aurora Tea Garden tonight.
Oh.
Yeah, so those of you who are listening, you missed it because this is coming out on Tuesday and today's Sunday. But Hallmark normally replays it a couple of times during the week, so check your local listings.
There you go. And if you have like some sort of, I don't know, TiVo-ish service, use it and you'll find it later on.
And speaking of, if you have a service like Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Good Pods or whatever you're listening to us on, you know what I'm going to say? Do the things.
Please. Yeah, do the things. It really does help us. It makes our exposure go up. So if you can help us out by giving us a like, giving us a subscribe, sharing us with someone who you think might be interested.
Or not. They might not be interested, but they'll still listen to find out if they are.
Right. That would that would be amazing.
Be like, this show's terrible. Why did you recommend it? Well, they said they needed listens. All right. Make good choices.
And put the wet clothes in the dryer and start the dishwasher and use your gift cards. Bye.
Bye.
Hey friends, thanks for listening to the CK and GK podcast. Find us at CK and GK podcast on Instagram and Twitter, and rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, or anywhere else that you pod. See you next time.